Okay, we'll bring the meeting to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Liberty and justice for all.
Bruce is always a little bit behind us.
I'm trying to keep up.
But he's there. Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Caldwell Wagner. Here. Groves. Here. Fitzpatrick.
Here.
Patrick.
Excused.
Randall.
Here.
Walker.
Here.
Mayor Cramblett.
Here. Additions or amendments to the agenda?
No, sir.
Adoption of the consent agenda, which is approval of August 12, 2019 minutes, and ratification of the bills in the amount of $368,982.25.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and second to the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, public hearing.
We have none.
None. Appointment to committees.
We have none.
We have one, don't we? I've got a thing in here for Butch.
I didn't know that Butch applied.
Don't I? Do we have a thing in? I thought I saw something.
For the census.
For the
Is Butch here? You went in for a committee, didn't you?
Census.
I got a letter from Gordon asking me for
For the census committee, right?
Perfect.
yeah. It was like Uncle Sam, he sent me that.
Yeah, I got it.
I didn't list first.
No. Perfect. Let's appoint him. Make him
Butch
chair.
would like to be on the census committee. I'm good with, council good with that?
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
thanks, Butch. Yeah, we like that. Okay, now what everybody's, I'm hoping that's what everybody's here for, is the approval of the meritorious proclamation for Justina Manson and Emily Sullinger. So I've never done one of these things before, so I'm just have them come on up here and.
Well, you need to read it. And then
Oh, I need to get
the
it.
council needs to approve.
Okay,
And then they can come.
well, so I have to read the proclamation first, and then the council approve it. Then they can- yeah. Every now and then we got, well, I've never done a proclamation here. So, proclamation. Proclamation of Excellence in Athletics by Cascade Locks residents. Whereas the city of Cascade Locks is proud of the positive accomplishments of its residents, both current and past, and whereas Emily Sullinger, daughter of Scott and Darlene Sullinger, granddaughter of Roberta Sullinger, has excelled as a wrestling athlete at River Valley High School, and whereas Emily Sullinger was invited to wrestle with the Oregon Wrestling Cultural Exchange Team in the summer of 2019 in South Africa, the first girls team on the Cultural Exchange Program. And whereas Emily Sullinger was undefeated in all of her matches, including the matches with the South African national wrestling team. And whereas Justina Matson, the daughter of Mary Ann Matson, and the granddaughter of Vicki Jung and Robert Jung, the great-granddaughter of Ralph and Pat Hescar, and a former resident of Cascade Locks, has excelled as a collegiate-level track and field athlete. And whereas Justina Matson placed 13th in the pentathlon at the NCAA Indoor Nationals meet and 12th in the heptathlon at the NCAA Outdoor Nationals meet in 2019. And whereas Justina Matson placed 8th in the World University Games in 2019 in Italy. And whereas the city of Cascade Locks is proud of the athletic accomplishments of current and former residents of our community, now therefore be it proclaimed that the week of August 26th through September 1st, 2019, as the Emily Solinger and Jessina Matson Week in Cascade Locks, Winterbottom County, Oregon, adopted this 26th day of August 2019. But it doesn't happen until the council. So do we need a motion on this? Is that what we're doing today?
Absolutely.
So can we get a motion
I'll
on
make a
this
motion.
proclamation?
I'll make a motion, Your Honor, to approve the mayoral proclamation for Justina Madison and Emily Sol.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second to accept the proclamation. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous.
The voice for beyond.
So, will the two of you come up and accept your proclamations? They're both the same. Thanks, Malia.
So we'll get a picture.
Hang on.
Congratulations.
Stand there together.
This is
Right
going on
over here
Facebook.
and Mary, get in between them.
Okay.
Yes. Very. Get a couple here. Good. Okay, a couple more. A little closer. Excellent. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Please take a break so that we can have a bunch of cookies. I'm not an athlete, but I like pumpkin cookies. So you're welcome to get, we're taking a break here right now, so we're having a little, if you want to have.
Athletes first.
And then we'll. I wasn't a very good athlete, so I wasn't a very good student. It all follows the same level.
Nobody said.
But I did participate. I got my participation ribbon. Okay. So we just want to make sure on that from the academic level there too. Perfect. So, resolution number 1421, authorizing the issuance of wastewater reserve bond. My eyes are not very good tonight.
And the next step on our process on our wastewater project is to issue a resolution that authorizes a bond to pay the loan back from the USDA. We will pass this resolution tonight. We'll publish a notice in the paper. People have 45 days to respond or to complain or to comment, whatever. And then if after that 45 days, depending upon the response, that we can either go ahead and issue the bond or work with our bond attorney to get the bond issued, and we can move forward with our project. So that's what this resolution does.
So the motion?
Your Honor, I make a motion we authorize the issuance of the wastewater revenue bond.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to pass resolution number 1421, authorizing the issuance of the wastewater revenue bond. Discussion. Bruce, did you want to say anything?
Just that we need to do the work, so we better find a way to pay for it.
Yep.
Good point. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, resolution number 1421 passes. Appearance of interested citizens. Did you have anything you want to talk about, Butch? Okay. Reports, city committees.
Have none.
Gorge Net presentation.
Mr. Dan Bell, president of GorgeNet, is with us tonight to talk about our evolving cable TV network.
Good. I'm getting all kinds of questions. I'm glad you're here tonight.
Well, hopefully I'll
You'll be able to answer them all.
Hopefully. Thanks for letting me be here. And yeah, I do want to answer questions because I'm hoping that you guys can disseminate what the real story is if people ask. So when we took over the cable plant, that was 4 or 5 years ago. It was already upside down in terms of the TV programming, the cost to deliver the service, the contracts that we have with the content providers was higher than the rates that we were paying. We were charging the customers. And so we made up for that and made it viable by improving the bandwidth on the internet side of things. So it penciled out okay for us. And so that was kind of the start of the whole process. But our intentions were, from the very beginning, were to overbuild the cable plant with fiber. And so since then, we've invested over $200,000 in fiber infrastructure throughout the entire city. And in fact, we offer service in places where you can't get internet access. They're essentially free. Doesn't have the capacity to provide service. So, and then in the meantime, we also upgraded the cable plant by putting a new head in. So we upgraded from we're at DOCSIS 2 and now we're at DOCSIS 3. And basically what that means is that the cable plant is capable of providing 100 meg service. So at this point in time, the entire city of Cascade Locks has, the cable plant can do close to 100 meg. I don't know exactly that, but we can definitely get it. So anywhere in the city of Cascade Locks, we can provide 50 meg service or better, which is completely adequate for any kind of streaming content. access high quality streaming programs without any kind of buffering or any kind of issues. And so we took a look at the way things are going. The rates for the programming have grown by, I could have brought the numbers, they go up a couple of 25 cents to 50 cents a year per subscriber per content provider. So now we lose, on average, we lose about $2,000 on the service. And it continues to degrade. The service is poor, it's not HD, some of the satellites have moved. We don't have the ability to adjust the dishes to move to the new location where the satellites should be pointed to get the content, because those providers use different satellites to get the service, so they jump around. And so we just made a decision that it just can't sustain it, and it doesn't meet our quality goals in terms of the service we provided. The only alternative we felt like we had would be to charge people more money for the TV content, which seemed a little, that did not seem fair given there are fewer channels and the services for them. So that's why we made the decision to pull the plug, because we feel like we've effectively met the obligation that we had to provide high quality, reliable internet citywide. And so what we're trying to do now is introduce people to the various streaming contents and encourage to adopt that, because it's actually considerably better at affordable prices, and you can still get the local Portland DMA news channels, so KPDX, Fox, all the big four, NBC, ABC, CBS, CBC, CBS, and Fox. And KGW, yeah. So, actually, no, KGW, I've been using YouTube TV. We've been working on this now for a long time. So I currently subscribe to Sling, YouTube TV, Hulu, just about every content provider that's out there. Just to kind of, is this even a viable replacement? And so now the thing that I've kind of migrated to personally is YouTube TV, and it does have the big four TV programs. So all the Portland channels are there, in addition to 30 or 40 other channels. And then it has Fox Sports, ESPN, ESPN2, and then some of the Hallmark channels. Just a lot of the typical content that you see. And then every one of those streaming providers, they have a different channel lineup. So what you get depends on which provider you go to. And then, of course, you can subscribe to all the other content providers such as HBO, Netflix, Amazon Prime, all that. And so that's where we are. Pretty simple. We did a little bit of research going into this. What are people doing? Small communities that have their own cable plant. The cost to upgrade the plant would be ridiculous, and it wouldn't provide us any better service than what we can provide over streaming service. And the cost would be probably more than what the streaming service providers charge, because they have a lot larger customer base, so they can get the content at better pricing than we would get. We have 98 subscribers on the system as of about 2 weeks ago. 98 TV subscribers. And so we've offered everybody that's currently a TV subscriber Roku or a Fire Stick for free, and we'll help you move over to that type of content and just help the process. So that's the long and short of it. Yeah.
I got a Fire Stick a couple years ago, lot of the things you mentioned are on that Hulu and Pluto and that.
Sure.
There must be,
Stuff you've never heard of.
there's 100.
Yeah.
So when you offered the people that are taking the television subscription from your service, is there any kind of break-in period, or the customer service? Is somebody going to help these folks?
Oh yeah. The letter that we send out to all our subscribers, and we've actually done this already. We have not put we're going to put a web page together that kind of walks you through the process. Because when you get one of those things and you turn your TV on, there's stuff on there you've never heard of. You don't even really know what it all is. And then the only way to really get a true sense of what's going on is to go ahead and sign up for the 1 week or 2 week free trial, but you still got to put your credit card information in, and then if you forget to shut it off, then you get charged for it, and it may be something that you don't want. So we have a way to distill all that down to here's what people typically do. If this is the kind of content you want, this would be a good choice for you for TV content. And then we'll walk you through the process. So our installers who install the fiber and the cable internet connections to your house or your business, they've already started helping people migrate over to Fire Stick or Roku. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, we kind of feel, that's why we're giving the devices away too. We feel like this has been, in total, this has been a great thing for Gorge Networks because we are a pretty dominant provider in Cascade Locks. But we also feel like it's been a really good thing for Cascade Locks because you have citywide available to you what a lot of communities don't get. I mean, including, Hood River and whatever. There are places in Hood River, the Dalles, Goldendale, or whatever that have this level of service, but it's not offered universally throughout the city, and here it is. And if we don't have it available to you, then, we build to it. So anyway, we're that's why we're offering those devices for free and trying to help people get over to them. And then like I said, we'll have hopefully this week we'll have a place on our website. And we have everybody's email address, so as we do things, we let everybody know, go here for some ideas on content or a way to kind of distill down your options. And then we have, of course, our support staff. And they're getting up to speed. Most of them already use that type of service, so they already know how to set up, but it's not something for training. They're just learning what options you guys have and how we roll this service out. So, yeah.
I just have a curiosity question. Okay, for the TV subscribers only that have the cable, is that going to be useless or going to be able to use it if they want for your other service?
So if you have TV only, right now we're requiring that you get on our internet because that's how it's service. But we're dealing with that on a case-by-case basis. If you really truly don't use the internet and you want TV service, we'll make it work. So.
Also, I would just like to remind everybody, I think if my memory serves me correctly, when we went into this deal with you folks, that we, from the assessment that we got and with going through Gordon and everything, that this time is going to come. We knew that. Right. All the way beginning. So we're not, nobody should really be blindsided. I don't know if the customers have been aware of that all along or not. That's another story.
Yeah, and thanks for bringing that up. That's actually, I think, why the city issued the RFP in the first place, because they knew that they're standing on a sinking ship. And the only chance of survival of any kind would be if a provider would invest into the infrastructure and at least come up with something that would be a viable option. When we submitted our RFP, we made it clear that our intentions were to replace everything with fiber, but because the head-end replacing the heading with DOCSIS 3.0 was actually not that expensive. We thought, well, that's a good way to augment our fiber deployment. So we know there's coax in most of the city of Cascade Locks, and then we have fiber in probably 60% of the city. And so we feel like, but we have good coverage, even though we haven't completely covered the town with fiber. We're continuing to do that every year. Grow, we just keep stretching that out. But we do have a viable option for everyone. And so, yeah, so at that point, we're just like, because we replaced the cable head end at the beginning of this year. And so that's when we said, okay, it's time to pull the trigger. So.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
How are we going to continue Channel 23 or not?
Well,
Unless he's got some magic.
So I should have read the franchise agreement for how all that was laid out for us. I will do that. I'm sure Ruben will too, or Ken. I would like, if the service is something that it gets utilized, there are a number of ways to provide essentially the same service over streaming, through streaming, so we could fulfill that obligation to.
We currently are doing YouTube.
Yeah.
We have our YouTube channel, and it's actually going to be simpler to broadcast our meetings live than trying to go through what we've done.
Yeah, and it's not just the council meeting. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about it's an emergency information sharing. I know we have Facebook, and I don't know the most reliable method to get word out to people that there is a problem.
Well, the most reliable method is reverse 911. People need to sign up for that because we can do your landline, your text and email notifications for when we, like for example, when we had that power outage last Sunday, we sent that out through reverse 911. What we will lose is the ads and the things that cycle on 23, and maybe he can come up with some kind of replacement for that. But really, the YouTube channel is really the future for broadcasting what we do.
And other communities, similar approach to that function. We're not dismantling the cable system. So what we're doing is we're essentially just canceling the contracts we have with the content providers. So if channel 23 is there and you have our cable modem that you had before, we can still make that work. So it's a little awkward, but there are a lot better ways to do that. And it's going to reach a continuing smaller customer base as time goes on. If we could do something that was streaming focused, then even people who don't have, then anybody can access that. So it's actually a better option anyway. And so yeah, that's something that we just need to know. I was aware of the YouTube channel, so we'll work with you guys to figure out how you want to. If you want to change anything, if you want to add other content, what role do you want us to play? How can we help?
I got his number.
So your fiber optics is on all the poles, is that correct?
Most of them.
Yeah, and some people are connected to that, some people aren't, some people are still getting through the coax.
Right.
And how do you get from so if you want to get from the coaxial to fiber, you just need to get hold of you, and there's a cost to that.
Yeah.
What is that?
I think the monthly service price, I think, is the same.
It's just a monthly service, there's not
And
an
then the
initial
hookup
get to.
charge, I think, is $95.
Okay.
I'd have to check on that. I don't work on the pricing side very much. I mean, I'm sure I knew it at one point, but I don't work with that much. So At most, it's, it's $95 to hook it up, and then the monthly recurring service charge is basically the same whether we're on fiber or wax.
So in most of this town, though, if we want to go to fiber, we can get the fiber.
Most of the
You can get
places,
us hooked up to fiber in most of this town.
yeah,
But it about 60%, where
Yeah.
there's still some pockets that they don't have fiber.
It's not on all of our branches of poles.
Right.
no, it's not. With the core, we have fiber from Toll Bridge all the way out to the industrial park.
A main line through there.
And so we have, so the entire length of town is covered. And
Just
then
the
we have
branch.
laterals that
Yeah.
go out from there. And so there are some streets where we don't have a lateral that goes out. And so, but there is coax there. And so we're using the coax plant to do that. And then,
So, but that coax isn't gonna carry the load that the fiber is gonna. You're not gonna be able to stream over the coax though.
oh yeah,
Oh, you will?
yeah, we're offering, so it's essentially the same service. It's because when we replaced the head end, the coax, the cable head end,
Yeah,
at the beginning of this year, that bumped the speeds up from like 10 meg to between 50 and 100 meg, depending on
even
where
in the
you're at.
coax.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's why I didn't feel like we could do this to drop the cable system, the TV part of it, unless people had a viable streaming option. And now with the replacement of the head end, everybody has a viable streaming option, even if you're not on fiber. And so that's when we said, okay, we're not putting anybody in a bind. You can access better content for less than what we would have to charge just to break even.
So being an expert at this, just a question of somebody who's hit me up over their issues, which is the Oregon fisheries out here at Oxbow. And apparently they can't they're on a coax, they're running a really small end.
Yeah, they're not on coax, they're on copper.
Yeah, so do you know how we get them? I mean, there's a fiber line on that frontage road in front of them.
Yeah, I've been out there.
Whose is that?
Yeah, so we're it's a little, they're two kind of different things, but we gave them a quote for providing fiber to the fish hatchery.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we're
How long would you do that?
year and a half ago. Year and a half, yeah. And so we provide, we're pretty much, well actually I guess we are the exclusive state of Oregon service provider in the region. So DMV, ODOT, Department of Fisheries, all that stuff, we're the primary provider in the mid-Columbia, from Cascade Locks all the way through to Arlington. And so those guys know how to get a hold of us. We do a lot of stuff.
For them, they want it, they need to step up to the plate and say, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, and they did get a quote. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not trivial to get there. We have, as far as
Yeah, for you,
as a stone, line site, we're right across the freeway from them in that housing development. So we're very close. We have to cross the freeway to get there.
and you can't tap into that fiber optic that's running right there next to them.
Not affordably.
That's where
That fiber is that's not our fiber. I'm not sure whose fiber. And it's just like if you live on the freeway, you may have to drive miles to get to the on-ramp. And that's the way that fiber is. That fiber could be running all the way down through here, but if there's not an on-ramp to the fiber, they won't create one. It has to be a splice point somewhere.
and
And
it's
that's
really
where you come
expensive
in.
thing to do.
Yeah.
To go into a main line like that.
Yeah, they won't.
Yeah. All right. That answers that one. So I can give them more information because they
Yeah.
asked about it.
They know how to get a hold of us. Just tell them to go through DAS, Department of Administrative Services. Yeah.
Well, I think we need to.
Yeah.
Hit up Oregon, not them. I mean, they're the ones that.
Oh, I've walked around
Oregon Fish and Wildlife for some reason doesn't want to
Yeah, no, I walked around, I can't remember his name, but, yeah, we walked around because I wanted to know what he knew about in terms of conduit and infrastructure, where we want to service. So, yeah, we walked around the whole area there, and,
And you gave him a cost of what it would take to get over there too.
yeah, I gave it to Daz.
Okay, all right, all right.
That was a while.
Bruce, do you have any questions?
No, thank you, Your Honor. Sounds good. I'll have to look into checking into that service.
So we posted well, we didn't, but somebody from here posted our letter on Facebook, and it got quite a bit of comments. Honestly, we track all that. We watch what's going on. We try to respond to people, make sure that any misconceptions are dealt with and so on. But in general, it's been okay. People are like, hey, this is actually a really good thing. The fact that we have this fast enough internet to support the streaming content is really cool, because that doesn't exist everywhere. And so we're being really proactive in dealing with community comment, and that's why I'm here too, is to make sure you guys hear from me what we're doing and why we're doing it. And yeah.
Let me ask this question. I don't know if it's a fair question. If it isn't, just say, yeah, that's not a fair question. But I'm on Dish or whatever one of those things are. So I got a little dish sitting out there, whoever it is. And so my computer is over Comcast or whatever.
Right.
Over the phone line.
Oh, okay.
It goes through the phone line, through whoever gets the phone service there. So what's the difference between,
Well, DSL
Is
is
there-
what you have.
is there a sales point for you for me to go, hey, forget that stuff and go to you, or is
Yeah,
that-
you would just call our office and go in. We actually, right before I
Is it
left my
feasible?
office.
That's my question, I
Is
guess.
it?
Is it feasible for any of us who have a dish and are connected to the?
The service is
Is that a
available to
fair
anybody
question?
throughout town. Anybody in town has access to the service.
So just ask the questions,
You just
and
ask,
then
you
and
just
you
call
can
us.
figure out your own budget of whether it works or not.
Right. Yeah, DSL in this area is not that fast. That's not to say that they.
When you're saying DSL,
That's what
that's what
it
I'm
sounds
getting.
like, yeah.
okay,
But that's not
so
to
yours
say
is a lot
that-
faster then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Now because of the fiber optic.
Yeah.
All right. Was that a fair question?
No.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
tell me that.
it's point in time.
Tell me that's
too.
not a fair question.
He can't answer it, but I can answer it.
That's not a fair question.
No, I have, since I got the letter, since I'm one of the 98 TB only guys, I went through and I set up my spreadsheets, and I looked at pricing, and I looked at performance and what channels were available and when they're available and where they're going. And I'm going with their 100 meg service and a voice over internet for my landline at home. And it's costing me exactly the same that CenturyLink per month. For what I pay for CenturyLink, I will now add 20 megawatt or 20 megabyte speed, which is actually 10 because they don't perform. And I'm going to his service with a landline, and if I get the 50, that's a 5-time improvement for the exact same price. And if I get the 100, it's 10 times improvement, but you're not going to be able to tell the difference between 50 and 100 because it's the download and upload is about the same. So that's what I did. But I also said, I got to have a TV, I got to have my cable, I got to have my football. And so I'm going to Dish too. And I compare Dish and DirecTV, and they're comparable. It's just which one was I comfortable with.
So can I ask this question then? I'll ask it, you can tell me whether it is, because, and I don't know enough about all this stuff, but everything was 4G, now they're talking 5G, whatever the heck that means. It sounds like it's a lot faster. By making that switch, does that make 5G a lot easier now coming? When 5G comes out, is that going to be easier to come over a fiber optic as opposed to a solid line?
All 5G will be over fiber. 5G is just the next evolution of cellular communication. So it's a little
It's not TV.
different.
And fiber is what the.
And,
I
but
don't-
5G is a wireless system that has a shorter range but higher throughput. And so, yeah, basically more wireless towers, they're at
Okay.
more density, but they're all connected to fiber.
So it'd come into this town on fiber, and then you'd put out whatever you need around the town to make sure
Yeah,
it went wireless to
Yeah.
whomever.
but if you have fiber to the home, the need for 5G is,
We don't need it.
Then-
Amazon needs it, not us.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know any of this stuff. So I'm learning as I go here. That's a good thing.
I just went through some of this and I came away with the thought that whatever you have this year, you might just gut the next year because the technology is moving so fast. It's not going to be like the old days where, you get city TV and you got 13 channels and you might get channel 13 on a good day or a bad day. Those days are gone because the technology moves so fast. Just because we're getting our television through our telephone provider or internet provider, in another 2 or 3 years, it might completely change, or it might, something better will be available. Sometimes for the same or less money. That's what drives the whole industry, I think. So
well, the one thing that is fairly certain you can count on is that fiber-fed services will be around for a while. Because there's no change on our part to go from 100 meg to a gig. So it's it's fairly future-proof.
Fiber could carry a ton, is
Yeah.
the name of it. Okay. Thanks for coming.
yeah,
Well, it's my
Yeah.
pleasure.
Yeah.
My main thing too, any word on the street, people talking, questions or whatever, now you guys know what we're doing and you know why we're doing it. And Gordon knows how to get a hold of me. Our website, you know our website, our contact information is there. Definitely encourage people to give us a call, and if they have a question or a concern, or they're not happy, or they don't want to make a change, or they think we won't help them, or whatever it is, tell them to call us because it's probably better than they think in terms
Okay.
of the transition. So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
Thank
Is
you very
there
much.
anything else you want to bring up, Bruce?
No, I'm good right now, thank you.
You good? Everybody else good? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet. All right.
That was good. I'm glad because we have been getting a lot of questions because things are changing. Yeah. Okay. City Administrator Zimmerman's report.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
We every month we take this yellow handheld computer and we go out and we do our reads for our water, our sewer, and our electric. We purchased that in May of 2014. As of January of 2020, it will no longer be supported by the company, the supplier. So we need to purchase a new handheld computer that will keep us up to date. It's going to cost us almost $7,600, but we would split that 3 ways between the water, the sewer, and the electric. Because that's above my price, can I get approval to order the new handheld?
I remember when we did this,
Yeah.
and we asked you, because the other one was out of date.
That's right.
And we said, well, this one, we should have no problems with this one.
It lasted 5 years.
That's a long time for anything electronic.
I just don't think 5 years is good enough.
Can you believe that?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
really, I mean, 5 years.
I seem to remember that we had a warning that it would need to be updated after a few years, from my recollection. Sure.
It's software. It's a little computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing changed. The meter's the meter. The meter's still talking to it the same way the meter's not talking to it any different.
Actually, we've upgraded some of our meters to radio read meters, which it was a tough transition, but it's a continuing evolution. If we kept this current handheld and it breaks, we have no backup, we have no ability to read the meters.
Well,
And
what are you
that's our
gonna do when you
revenue
get this
stream.
one?
Get it.
So
It's gonna last
Five
for
more
If
5
you
years.
get it,
years.
if you get it, it breaks, you got another one right behind it.
Well,
That works well.
we're not gonna order two,
'Cause-
and that's
Yeah, right.
$15,000.
But you're saying the one we got right now, if
Yeah,
it
we
breaks,
can
they will
use
have
it.
replacement
It's
for
gonna
you.
be
use it.
obsolete.
We can use that till December, and we can order the new one and get it going. But in either case, it's
Crazy
they
world.
don't last. Don't last.
Well, you know better than I do.
I
You
don't
deal
know
with that stuff all the
nothing.
time throughout the state.
It's just that electronics
Yeah.
are built for 5 years max.
In that. So, can I have your approval to spend some more money?
We don't have a choice.
Didn't have a choice then.
That would be a
We
yes.
won't have a choice next time.
All right, thank you.
Yep, we're doing business.
Thank you.
5 years.
Yes. The second thing on my report tonight, we had a question last week, or 2 weeks ago, about council absences. The charter says the council can declare a vacancy after an absence from all regular council meetings within a 60-day period without the consent of the council. That consent is notification to the mayor, the city administrator, or the city recorder before the meeting that the city council will be unable to attend. So basically, I'm not encouraging this behavior. You come once every 4 council meetings, that'd be good. But we like your continued participation every time. We also had an update on the Winterbottom project. We're meeting with ODOT tomorrow. It has taken longer to do the engineering than they had anticipated. They are not going to be able to work this fall. And actually, that's probably a good thing, because there are some designs that are still in flux, but there is some design that require us to move light poles, fire hydrants, and we have to do that work before they can come in and do their work. So that gives us the winter to do those few poles or fire hydrants. Bridge of the Gods Marathon medical emergency that we had questioned last time. The event had not contacted the fire department and told them, had not told them that we're having the event. Fire department was brand new. Captain Logan would have responded, except he was in Odell getting a load of furniture because he was moving his family here that day. We would have had that response. Skamania came over. They came over within 20, 25 minutes. The lady had been warned 3 times that she was being dehydrated, that she needed to stop and drink, and she didn't do it. The medical response from the event, they came up, they talked to her, we got her to drink some more, and then they went back to their station where we're working with the port. The events coordinator now has on the list, have you contacted the fire department for medical requirements? So that's where we are with that issue. I can't tell you how the lady comes, how she's doing, because of HIPAA laws, they aren't going to tell me. So. And city council meetings will broadcast on 23 for another month, and on YouTube, Cascade Locks live stream, and like and share us on Facebook.
Thank you. Mayor, city council comments. Bruce, comments.
Well, I don't have much to say, Your Honor. Town was busy. It sounded like Movies in the Park was well attended, and the camp out was a success. And just thank you to the staff for making our life so easy. And that's all I have. Thank you.
I'd like to say congratulations to Justina and Emily. Job well done. It's great to live in a city with them as residents. Very proud. Also, I know several people have been interested in joining the fire department. That's really good. And if you can't join the fire department as a volunteer, you can also do the auxiliary services. So if you don't want to fight fires, you can help out in other ways. They've got, their next meeting is September 23rd at 5 at the fire hall. Also, one of our residents, Nancy Garcia, passed away over the weekend. She was 29. She was close to a lot of people and did a lot for our community. There are donation boxes for her family and the expenses for passing. I think Brigham's Market has it, the Ale House does, and during the farmer's market, I think they brought a donation box out with a 50-50 raffle. I know the last raffle, the person who won donated it back to the family. That's it.
Thank you. Bobby?
A lot of people in town, over the past couple weekends, looked like there was a lot of good participation with the Pacific Crest Trail festivities. The only thing I didn't like is watching the football field become a parking lot. That got my goat a little bit, but that's a whole nother story.
That's happening more often all the time now. Yeah.
One paved the damn thing and put stripes on it.
Ooh. Don't say that.
Well, one or the other.
Don't say that. No. We need to use it for kids thing.
Why, there's no kids?
No, whatever. We need to keep working on it.
Well, actually, 3 years ago when Amy Borland came to town, we had 55 kids in our elementary. This last year, we ended up with 71, and we have 4 kids moving in. So we expect the population of the school to continue to increase.
Which means we'll need that field. For a variety of things. I don't mind parking a car on grass. Grass is fine. One day. Anyway, what else you got here?
I'll just stop.
Pave. You pave paradise and put up a parking lot.
There you go.
Richard.
Yeah, again, I'd like to congratulate Justina Matheson and Emily Solinger for the award and for just excelling in what they do in school and everything. I know there's a lot of community members are really proud of that now, so I'm going to thank them for that. Also, I just want to mention at the last economic development meeting we had, this is old news, but it just seems like more people are getting more concerned about Forest Lane, the congestion, the more pedestrians. Seems like there's because I live on that corner, and when I'm always seeing what's going on, it seems like the semi-truck traffic is increasing. I understand that there's businesses that use the semi-trucks for their delivery and pickup and stuff. But I see a lot of trucks that have no business being on Forest Lane to go down there. I know there's not a whole lot we can do about it. The reason why I'm talking about this is because there's a lot of people that are concerned about it, and I know that we have our hands tied, can't even lower the speed limit. There's a lot of things we can't do because it's a historic highway, and I just want to remind people of that even though that the Economic Development Committee and is taking time to talk to the people that have control of that, which is both the county, the state, and the historic highway people. And so to get anything done on that road is going to be it's going to be an uphill fight. But I believe that something's going to happen sometime, and it's going to open people's eyes, and they're going to put pressure to where something eventually is going to have to happen. As Forest Lane gets busier and busier, that road is going to have to be improved with sidewalks, because right now people are walking in the road, and a lot of skateboarders going down there, and there's trucks and people going way over the speed limit all the time. So there is a safety concern as congestion grows. But I just want to remind everybody of what we're up against, and try trying to mitigate any of them problems. Because I know we've talked about this for quite a few years. But hopefully something can be done before bad accident or something happens. But, that's all I have.
Good.
I also want to thank the two young ladies. I'm very proud of them. They're Cascade Locks girls. I think I could say girls, they're girls. And I'm proud of what they do. They are also very proud of what they do. They got good families that support them, and the city should be proud of them, and I'm glad we did this recognition. I thought that was very nice. And then I also want to thank the port and the city for putting on the movies in the park. I've been at all of them, I think, but one, and there was a good turnout on most of them. So everybody had a good time. They seemed to have a good time. It was fun for the kids. And then I always want to thank the staff. You do a good job.
You good?
I am good.
And I agree, it is good to have folks who grew up here, spent some time here, to do the things that you ladies did, have done. It's, pretty impressive. There was a lot of hard work, a lot of effort put into to what they, so it shows that even a little time in a small town, you can do some pretty big things. I like your comment, Bob. I appreciate you making the comment because that can get people to get off their ducks and go, because it's very appropriate. What are we going to do with this thing? We're not going to use it. You're right. Is it going to be better? Is it going to be better used for that? And that's what we need to do. We need to get it used. It's happened. That is happening because we aren't using it enough for what it was intended to be used for, the fields down there. But I appreciate the comment because that gets people thinking about it, and I think it's important to do that. So hopefully something can come from this. Forest Lane is going to continue to be a tough issue because the port's job is to bring economics to the town, and the land the port has is on the other end on the east end of Forest Lane. Our frontage road is not really good. It's not really conducive to truck traffic. The port's looking at that. The city's looking at that in our transportation plan of trying to help that frontage road, but that is not a small project. That's going to be a big push to be able to do something with that. So in the meantime, Forest Lane is that is the access out there for any businesses out there, whether it's going to be trucks, cars, or whatever it's going to be in that industrial. And you look at the industrial land out there. There is a lot of industrial. I mean, it may be small for down here, but there's a lot more land out there that the businesses can go on. There's a business building right now that's going to add truck traffic to Forest Lane. And there's another business that can be coming into that I'm going to assume will also add worker traffic and truck traffic to Forest Lane. So you're right. It's something we got to keep an eye on, but it is going to keep growing. One of the things that Cascade Locks is picking up these things, just like we just had the you look at the field used for equestrian days. The field was also used for the marathon, to cross the bridge crossing half marathon thing. So we're getting some pretty big events here. And we're going to have another big event to come up, the Hood River Swim. They used to have the Weber Swim at Hood River. is now coming to Cascade Locks. And I'm believing it's coming here because it's, people come from all over the world to do it. And Hood River gets the early winds before we do. So they've lost a couple of swims. They feel that more comfortable being able to get in here, and I think they're having some issues maybe with their beach landing in Hood River also. But the cross-channel swim is coming to Cascade Locks this year. The boat's gonna be taking them over into the Stevenson area, and I'm pretty sure where they're gonna end up at is at the beach at the other end of the marina. That's the only place you can get out of that river, technically, is the beach at the end of the marina. Which means all those folks are gonna start in Cascade Locks, 500 people going on that boat, and swimming across and end in Cascade Locks. So there's another event that's gonna put lots of people in this town. And whether that continues to grow or not, I don't know. I've got to believe that I went out for the opening of the next stretch of the bike path out of Wyeth. I got to believe that bike path extends, there's going to be more and more things, and we're in the middle of that whole thing. So I got to believe that there's potential for more and more biking events. I believe there's probably, because that goes out that way, and we head down this way with it. I think these running events, these marathons and all that, because we have a beautiful big thing to run on or to bike on. I think I see more and more potentially fairly large things coming to Cascade Locks. So yeah, it's the world we're in, and it's not. I don't believe it's ending. But it is nice that we've got fiber optics and we can get it most everywhere in town. So. And I think the port and city with our worker relationship, we're trying to keep up with the things that are going on here. But what we're stuck in, as you know, we're the volume of our community. The square footage of the city itself is not a whole lot in comparison to other areas. So it's really tough for us to take big things. But they keep heading our way, because we're like I say, I'm running that boat. I get people from all over the world. I grew up here, so I'm used to it. But I get people from all over the world, and they're pretty impressed with anybody who comes off that freeway and comes into this town is pretty impressed with this place. So I feel good about living here. But it can be tough. It's going to get tougher as we get lots of people coming. Yeah, I'm glad the auxiliary. I gotta get out and I gotta try to make. And we not only lost Garcia, but we also lost Greg Hartley. He had worked on the plan. What had he been on? He'd been on a committee with us.
I am not.
I think he had been on the committee here with the city too. So he also passed. Anyway, yeah, I got that's it for me. But we're not done. We got an executive session, correct?
Correct.
So we're going to move out of the regular meeting and move into an executive session under ORS 192.660 2H legal counsel.
We will not be coming back into regular session and making
And we'll not be coming back in the regular session to make a final